Hi guys. Give me a second. Okay. Hey everybody. I hope you are all doing well. We have made it to the end of 2020 and I'm excited about what we have coming for this new year. Uh, so I wanted to hop on and talk to you guys about this. This is going to be my last video of the year, so I'm really excited. Um, and I know a lot of times we look at this year in general, 2020, and a lot of horrible things have happened this year. And so we're some of us may feel like good riddance 2020. I'm so happy you're gone. I never want to experience you again. Um, but some of us have experienced good things through this year as well. And so, like for instance, my daughter was born this year, so I can't really knock 2020 that much because I'm really happy that she's here. um, and then there are other good things that have happened this year in my life, as well as bad things too. But um, I think it's important for us to take the good with the bad and understand that we have to learn from those experiences that we have, else we will repeat them. We hope that 2021 is going to bring great things, but we never actually know what's going to happen. And we can't just sit around waiting for good things to happen. Sometimes we have to make those things happen ourselves. Right? So, what I'm going to talk to you about today is seven things that I believe are going to be very important to all of us in order for us to um, get the life that we really want in 2021 and beyond. I know a lot of people set New Year's resolutions, and there's actually a day in January. I think it's like January 16th, and it's called the National Quit All of Your Resolutions Day. I think it's January 16th. You can go look it up, but I think it's interesting that most studies say that we set these resolutions and then about 3 weeks into it, we quit those things if we can even make it 3 weeks. So, with things still being shut down because of COVID, um, some people are probably not going to have to worry about getting gym memberships as part of their New Year's resolution because those are closed. So, you have to find some other alternatives to working out. But with all of those things, trying to find different alternatives, when you are working on coming up with a resolution, you want to make it something that you can actually stick with, something that's going to help you with your entire life, and something that's going to help you to grow and be your best self, not just for a temporary moment. So not just losing weight so you can look good temporarily, but actually changing your whole life. But I'm not going to talk to you about losing weight really because you don't have to wait till the new year starts to do that. You can do that at any time. And any of these things you can really do at any time in your life. It's just a matter of deciding to change. But since people decide that change at the new year, we're going to talk about it now. So, the first thing that I have on the list is don't neglect time with God. And that would seem like something that you don't have to be reminded to do, but as human beings, it's very easy for us to get distracted by um, all the cares of the world, by working, by COVID, by entertainment. So in 2020, a lot of things were stripped away from us because we had no other choice. So when you're quarantined, you can't go out to the clubs, you can't go out partying, you can't, do all those things that you normally do that would become a distraction. So what happens? You have to sit in your house. During that time would have been a good time to sit in your house, meditate, talk to God more, spend more time with Him. But a lot of times, what actually happened was that we spent more time binging out on Netflix. Am I by myself? Anybody else did that too? Because I know I watched a whole bunch of Netflix and Hulu and Prime and did a lot of other stuff because I had a lot of time to be at home. Even though I was teleworking at home and I got to spend more time with my kids. That's another good thing that came out of 2020. Maybe not for everybody, but one of the things that I really wanted was to be able to be home with my daughter for her first year of life and not have to worry about going to work. And lo and behold, 2020 happened and she was born in January. And then shortly after my maternity leave was over, I was able to actually telework and I spent most of the time at home with her. And that's been very difficult sometimes because um, trying to actually work and take care of a baby is hard. So shout out to all those parents that are teleworking, and you have to also homeschool because then I also have my son who's in middle school, so I had to make sure he was actually doing his work and not just online streaming and watching videos and stuff, but actually passing his classes. So lots of stuff happens, but in doing all that stuff, being at home, it gave me a lot of time to not really focus on God. Like I could focus on God, or I could watch a couple more episodes of whatever show I was watching. And sometimes the show won out, and sometimes spending time with God won out. I will say that in the times where I spent deep time praying and time reading the word and worshiping and stuff. It was the most amazing times that I had in my life of spending solo time with God. I didn't miss going to church. I still miss going to church. I miss the fellowship of spending time with those that we believe the same thing and we're on one accord. But having that solo time with God was amazing. And I am actually going to press in even more this coming year since I'm still teleworking and we're still quarantined. Um, I'm going to press in more to spend even more time with God because I want that interaction with Him. And I've learned that getting through 2020, the thing that kept me strong through the ups and downs and the hardest times that I had in my life was the times that I was spending with God. And then He would give me peace no matter what the circumstance was. So, number one, don't neglect your time with God. If you want to have wisdom during this time, if you want to have peace during this time, spend time with God. Spend more time with God. I'm not saying you cannot watch Netflix and you cannot, do other things around your house if you're going to be stuck there anyway. But don't neglect the time with God. All right. Number two, always be grateful. So as you're starting out this new year, again in 2020, it was extremely easy to be disgruntled about everything that was going wrong in the world and find things to complain about. Like we could come up with a list of all the things that were bad in 2020 and how we're so happy that it's over. But can you come up with a list of the things that you can be grateful about in 2020? Again, like I said, I got to spend more time with my kids, and that was very important to me. I got to get things organized in my house that I wanted to do that I never had time to do because I was never at home. Well, now I'm at home, and then I have more time to organize things. Um, you can go on and on with the list. I'm thankful that I'm still alive. I've had a few family members. Um, I can probably count on more than one hand now. Uh, Family members and friends who have contracted COVID 19, but they're still alive, they're still here. And so I'm thankful for that. So I can find things to be grateful for. I'm still here because I came in contact with people who tested positive, but I didn't get it. And so if you choose to be angry and bitter about the things that are happening in your life, then you will continue to draw those things. But if you choose to be grateful and find the good in things, no matter what happens, um, then you will draw more goodness and things to be happy about in your life. So, whatever energy you put out is what you're going to draw back in. God loves a cheerful giver. God loves a thankful person. God loves our praise, and He loves when we just give Him thanks. So when we focus on thanking Him, then it will turn those things around in our lives. Um, so thank you, Jesus, that we made it through 2020. And no matter what we experience bad, we thank you for all the good that we have had. So number three, letting go of the past. This is a huge thing that people say that they do when you're going into a new year. Like, I'm going into this new year, I'm letting go of all of this baggage. I'm not going to talk about these things anymore. I don't care about this, I don't care about that. And then you get into the new year and you're still talking about the same stuff that happened in the last year, in the year before that, in the year before that, that you have never actually let go of. So if you want to glow up, if you want your life to be changed, spirit, soul, body, socially, financially, you have to get rid of the past. The past is supposed to be when you're driving and you're looking in the rear view, that's behind you. You're not going that way, you're going forward. And if you continue to focus on what's behind you, then you're never going to see the destination in front of you. And you're probably going to crash. So when you drive, don't focus on the rear view, focus on what's in front of you. But, anyways, so that is what we're talking about doing today. We're going to let go of those things in the past. I'm really grateful for the time that I had in 2020 to really work through some things that I was going through in my own personal life, and then really get my channel back started. That's another thing I'm grateful for. I got my channel started again in 2020. And I started talking about overcoming your parental abandonment issues, which is a huge thing that people don't talk about. They don't even realize that the reason why a lot of your relationships are failing, a lot of the reason why a lot of all of our relationships fail is because we don't deal with the trauma that we experience from our childhood, and then we continue to fall into those patterns and take that into our relationships as adults. So you have to learn to let go of the things that happened in your past. And that's not to say that it didn't happen, not to negate the pain that you went through, because we've all experienced pain in some way, shape, or form. But we have to learn to let those things go. We have to learn to forgive those people no matter what, even if they never ask for forgiveness, even if they're dead and they can't ask for forgiveness. And, lose the expectation that they're going to ever apologize, because sometimes people don't even know that they did anything to hurt you. And sometimes they don't care that they did anything to hurt you. But if you want to get out of the prison of what you've gone through in life, you have to let those things go. So let go of those things that happened in your past. Forgive yourself. Forgive those people. Forgive the situations. I heard my mentor say earlier today, forgive 2020. 2020 didn't really want to come and hurt you in any kind of way, but it happened that way. So you have to forgive 2020 for what 2020 did to you in order to move on into 2021 and make it a better life for you. So, number four, set small goals for the big goal. So, what does that mean? Okay, so we create these huge goals that we want to have, like I want to lose 50 pounds. Um, I'm just saying that I don't really want to lose 50 pounds, but if I wanted to lose 50 pounds, if I set this goal, I want to lose 50 pounds, that's a huge goal. What are small goals that I can take in order to work my way up to that big goal? Well, I could work out, but that's setting a big goal for yourself too. Because if I tell myself I can work out, then I feel like I have to, and this is what other people do too, and this is why you fail at continuing with this goal or your resolution in the new year. You say, I'm going to set this goal of losing weight and working out, and I'm going to go to the gym every single day. That's not realistic for you. If you have not been doing it and then you go full force in and say, I'm going to go every day, you're going to quit. That's just what we do as humans. So don't do that. But you can set a goal to say, okay, I am going to work out 2 times a week for 30 minutes. Start there. If you have to start with one day a week for 30 minutes, Start there. And then once you get consistent with that, then you work your way up on it. If you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to eat healthy, don't say, I'm going to go vegan. And then you still got all this other food in your house. And then it's going to tempt you because you still want to eat this stuff. You have to progressively move yourself into this. So you can say, I mean, if your ultimate goal is that you want to become vegan, you can say, okay, I'm going to start with giving up um, steak. If that's something that you eat a lot, or burgers, maybe that's more realistic. I eat a lot of steak, but if burgers are your thing or fast food is your thing, start with, I'm going to not eat any fast food for a month and then just cook at home. And if you start with doing that, then when you move to your next step of, okay, now I'm only going to eat chicken or fish and I'm going to cut out my red meats. And you progressively do that until you work to up to your ultimate goal of being vegan. So I hope that makes sense. So same thing with trying to lose weight. Don't just jump in and say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Say, I'm going to work to lose 2 pounds a week by drinking more water and cutting sodas and sugars out of my diet. That's something more realistic and obtainable. So start with something like that. And then that will help you to get to your goal. Because if you have small goals and you obtain those small goals, then it will give you more confidence to continue towards the big goal. If you set this big goal and then it gets hard, then you're going to quit. And we don't want you to quit in 2021. Don't quit, keep going. Quit quitting. I actually have a video called Quit Quitting. It was like one of my very first videos. So if you go back in my videos to, like, I think it might have been the second one, second or third one, is called Quit Quitting. That's a good video to check out. Um, so the next one is number 5, have accountability partners. This one is huge. And this one is one that every time I don't do this, I fail at whatever the goal is. So I make sure to tell someone else, this is what my goal is, and I need you to hold me accountable to doing this. Like if I'm going to have a goal of working out, I need to have somebody who's going to work out with me. Why? Because I know me. You should know yourself too. Because I know me, I'm going to work out, but then when I don't feel like working out, I'm not going to work out. But if I have somebody who I'm working out with who's keeping me accountable because they're calling me and they're like, hey, we need to work out right now, then I'm more likely to work out. But if I don't have that person, I'm just not going to do it. So have an accountability partner. And that's whatever it is in your life. If you're setting a goal that you want to save $10,000 for the new year because you want to make more, you want to buy a house or you want to get out of debt, have accountability partner, preferably somebody who is good in that area. Because if you have an accountability partner who sucks in the area that you're trying to get strong in, then they're going to let you slack off. Like they're gonna be like, hey, yeah, just spend that money and you can save it up again later. You don't want that. You want somebody who's a good financial money management person. They're good with their own money, and they'll be like, hey, no, don't spend that money. You don't need a new pair of shoes. You don't need to buy a new purse. You don't need new clothes. You don't need to get your hair done again. Take a break off of that, do your own hair, and you know, put that money aside. So get somebody like that in your life. Get a couple people like that in your life. And it doesn't have to be the same person for every goal that you have. You can have different people for different goals. So think about that. Accountability partner. It's important. All right. Number 6, be prepared to face adversity. So, guys, seriously, no one, I can't say no one, but most people did not expect 2020 to go the way that 2020 went. And if you're honest with yourself, if you're a believer, a lot of times when we go to church and we get a word on this is the year of whatever, then we hold on to this because we're like, and God's gonna do this, and it's gonna be blah blah blah. It's gonna be so amazing, and, da, 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 da. And it doesn't even have to be at the beginning of the year. It could be really at any time of the year. You get this word that everything's gonna be amazing. Your life's gonna turn around. You're gonna, do all these flips and everything, and then you're like, yes, it's gonna be awesome. And then adversity comes, and then you get mad, like, I can't believe this is happening. Why not? Why can't you believe this is happening? Like, why would you think that only good things are ever going to happen, that nothing bad will ever happen? That's not realistic. There's always going to be, if you are moving towards a goal, if you're moving towards success, there's always going to be some kind of obstacle, some kind of adversity that's going to come and try to knock you down so that you get off course, and then you feel like, well, in that moment, you can decide, should I keep going or should I quit? Is this too hard? And in that moment, you're going to be tested on if you really believe that you want to be successful, that you want the life that God has for you, that you want to walk in the purpose that He has for you, or if you're just going to let it go because it's too hard. Um, I can honestly say in my life, I've been hit with a lot of adversity, and it's not always easy. It's never easy, guys. It's never easy. It's never been easy when the adversity comes, because even though I know it's coming, when it hits, I'm like, freaking A. Like, I just want everything to be so peaceful and so beautiful and just flow, and like, you think that everything is supposed to be like butterflies and lollipops and stuff. And it's not like that. Especially if you're going to be a Christian, it's not going to be like that. You're going to face adversity at every chance because you have an enemy out there. And his whole purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. He's trying to take you out whatever way he can. He does not want you to be blessed. So if God says he's going to bless you, the enemy is going to try to figure out a way to block you from getting that blessing. He's going to try to distract you. He's going to try to hurt you. If he can't get to you, he's going to get to the people that are around you and try to use them to get to you. You have to determine in your heart now, before you get into this new year, that you're not going to allow anything to stop you from walking in what God has called you to do, your purpose and your blessings. You're not going to allow any distractions to stop you. So, yes, adversity is going to come. Don't be afraid of it. Don't let it push you back. Continue to move forward, because on the other side of that is a blessing. If you read the Bible, and I hope you do, actually, you can download the YouVersion Bible app, and they have a lot of plans on there. You can go through the whole Bible in a year. They're not paying me to say this, but I use it every year. I think it's amazing. I do a lot of different plans on there. It helps me when I'm dealing with a certain topic in my life. I look up that particular topic, and then I do a plan on that. So, look, you can do that as well. But um, find a way to, gosh, what was I saying before that? Oh, I was saying, if you read the Bible, there are every different character that you look at has gone through some type of adversity, but they made it over to the other side when they chose to persevere and keep their mind and their eyes focused on God and listening to Him and yielding to Him. Even the three Hebrew boys, when they had to choose if they were going to bow down to the idol or if they were going to continue to honor God. That was adversity, and they got thrown into the fire. And everybody wants to come out of the fire as pure gold, but nobody wants to go into the fire. You have to go into the fire in order to come out as pure gold. If you don't go into the fire, you're not coming out as pure gold. Like, you like can't do that. You can't say you want to come out of the lion's den, but then you don't want to actually go into the lion's den for what you believe. And so you have to be founded and sure of what it is that you want, and just continue to trust God in it. I promise you, like, I can give you so many testimonies on all the different times in my life where I trusted God and He came through. And I saw adversity, but I just kept saying, God is not going to fail me. God never fails me. I can trust Him. And He continues to show up time and time again. And it just solidifies in me that He's a trustworthy God. And I can put my everything in His hands. So don't worry about the adversity, guys. But don't be fooled and think that it's not going to come because it's a new year and all the bad stuff is going to stay in 2020. It's not, because if it was, by midnight tonight, wherever you're at, then COVID will be completely gone and all the shutdowns will be done. And then tomorrow, everybody will wake up and everything will be beautiful again. But it's not. There's still going to be bad things that happen in the world. People are still going to die. People are still going to be murdered. All these horrible things are going to happen. Um, you just have to learn how to persevere through those things and understand that on the other side of it, if you hold on, there is good. So, this is the last one. Okay. And this is probably one of my favorite ones, you guys. Number 7, don't beat yourself up if, in parentheses, I put when you mess up, because you're going to mess up. We all mess up. And this is my favorite because I'm huge on this, because I have a high level expectation for myself. When I don't meet those expectations, I can be really hard on me. Nobody's going to be as hard on you as you are, generally speaking. Maybe other people maybe in your life, other people are harder on you than you are on yourself. But for me, I'm generally harder on myself. I'm much kinder to other people than I am to me. So I have to constantly remind myself, don't beat myself up. Like, be forgiving of myself, because I deserve forgiveness too. I'm human, and I'm not saying, don't listen. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Don't use the excuse that I'm human in order to not set goals or to like fail at setting your goals. But understand that if, when you fail, that you are human and you're going to mess up, and you can get up and you can start over again. So if you decide diet, you eat your food or whatever, and then midnight strikes and it's a new year and now you're on this diet, and you say you're not going to eat all of this stuff anymore, and then January 4th comes and you fail and you eat stuff that you said you were not going to eat. Don't beat yourself up. Eat the food. Then the next day, start over again. That's the beauty of it. As long as God wakes you up the next day, um, you have a new day to start again. His mercies are new every morning, and that is amazing. So you don't have to beat yourself up because you messed up. Like, repent, which is changing the way that you think, and get back to doing what you said you were going to do originally. Call your accountability partner. Say, hey, I messed up, but I'm getting back on track. Please help me. Check on me. Tell your accountability partners, please check on me, because if you don't hear from me, I'm probably not doing what I'm supposed to do. So call me, check on me. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to let your accountability, because they don't know. They may assume that you're doing fine, you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's why you need somebody who's really going to make sure that you stick with it. Then you're less likely to mess up. But you're still going to eventually mess up. Just realize that. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I didn't want to take up a whole bunch of your time. I don't know what you have planned for this New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year, but I wanted to share these 7 things with you. And I'm so I'm so excited, guys. It's weird because this is my last video of 2021, and I'm just in like huge expectation of what's going to happen with my channel for no, this is my last video of 2020. I'm in huge expectation of what's going to happen for 2021. I want to thank you guys for joining me on this journey of inspiring beauty and believers through this year. I want to thank you all who are new to the channel. Thank you so much for the growth. Last time I checked, I think I was at 122 subscribers. And when I started out this year, after my long hiatus, I was like at like 30. So thank you to all the new people for joining me. If you have been watching my channel and you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click that button so you can continue to ride with us. You can get the notifications. I have new videos that I'm going to be dropping in the new year, different topics that I'm going to be talking about. Some things are gonna some things are gonna stay the same. Some things are gonna be a little different. But I'm just really excited to be able to have these conversations with you guys. And I love you. I love you so much. Um, but those seven things, again, before I get off, are one, don't neglect time with God. Um, you may benefit from actually doing a fast to start out this new year so you can get some clarity and hear from God. Just saying. Number two, always be grateful. Three, let go of the past. Four, set small goals for the big goal. Five, have accountability partners. Six, be prepared to face adversity. And seven, don't beat yourself up if when you mess up. So I love you guys. Enjoy your New Year's Eve celebration, whatever it is you do, even if you're just sleeping in. I'm about to go have pizza and drink root beer floats with my kids because this is our tradition that we just made up like 2 hours ago. But that's going to be our thing for New Year's Eve now. So, whatever you do, enjoy your time. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next year.